Hebrews 11:3. Through faith, we understand that the world. Hebrews 11:3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the Most High, so that the things which are seen were not made by things which do appear. Faith. Yeah. You gotta grow in our faith. It's impossible to please Him without our faith. Angry all the time, but we ain't got no faith. Scared of everything, but we ain't got no. Talk reckless, cause we ain't got no faith. Act the way we act, but we ain't got no faith. Entire world mess, cause we ain't got no. Feel like we gotta move. Feel like we gotta do what the Father said He about to do. Cause we ain't got no. Frightened and afraid, terrified of getting slayed. Gotta rely on AKs. Cause we ain't got no hearts filled up with hate. Like there'll never be a day all our trespasses paid. Cause we ain't got no. We worry and fret. Panic when we see threat. And run right into Satan's net. Cause we ain't got no. Oh, the rent, oh, the bills. Where will we get the next meal? Ready to lie, cheat, and steal. Cause we ain't got no. Running around all depleted, all depressed and defeated, getting sidetracked and cheated. Why? Cause we ain't got no. Speaking that, saying this. How we be cussing out the same mouth we be praying with? How? Cause we ain't got no. We can't just read it, gotta perform it and believe it. And only then will we begin to see it. Till then we'll never have no. Gotta grow in our faith. It's impossible to please Him without our faith. Angry all the time, but we ain't got no faith. Scared of everything, but we ain't got no. Talk reckless, cause we ain't got no faith. Act the way we act, but we ain't got no faith. Entire world a mess, cause we ain't got no faith. To believe that He is wisest choice to choose, still bringing things to pass, regardless who refuse. Honor to sacrifice myself and be the one to use, so that after I take my final breath, wake up to good news. I didn't sign up to shine, no, not on this earth. I know before honor come, humiliation first. So step all over me, try my patience, make me earn this. Cause I ain't following the Shire. If I don't learn this, believe on Him so I ain't gotta take my own vengeance. Believe Him when He say all who deserve it is gonna get it. I'ma cup my hands out in front of me, preach to the world, till He send sulfur and brimstone to eat to the world. Seek the kingdom first, food, shelter, raiment is free. And everything this life bring, I know exactly where to lean. Only the faithless worried about anything. So when I catch you out of whack, I know you lack that mustard seed. You gotta grow in our faith. It's so please Him without our faith. Angry all the time, but we ain't got no faith. Scared of everything, but we ain't got no faith. Talk reckless, cause we ain't got no faith. Act the way we act, but we ain't got no faith. Entire world a mess, cause we ain't got no faith. It's impossible to please Him without our faith. Angry all the time, but we ain't got no faith. Scared of everything, but we ain't got no faith. Talk reckless, cause we ain't got no faith. Act the way we act, but we ain't got no faith. Entire world a mess, cause we ain't got no faith. Yeah. Faith. Ask yourself this. Do we really have faith in the Most High? No, that's a good question. That's a good question. Shabbat Shalom, everybody, in Christ's glorious body.
Maybe you're a knuckle. Maybe you're a finger. Maybe you're the whole hand. Maybe you're a kneecap. Maybe you're a toe. Guess what? Without you, baby, huh? Body of Christ ain't complete, right? Happy Sabbath out there. The Father is once again resetting us, resetting the week. We're going into a rest. If you want to go into the eternal rest, you better be going into this rest today. Okay? Now, if you got to do something, you got to do something, right? If you couldn't get it off of work, hey, right? But don't just let that stay like that for years. Be searching around for another job that'll let you get Friday night to Saturday night off. Con? Be searching for another job or have it in question and have it in the works and have it at your job to where they know soon as possible this guy needs Saturdays off. Right? Keep bugging them about it and get this off. Why? Because if you are a child of the Most High, the heavens is looking down at all the children of him. And you know how they are identifying us? We're keeping this Sabbath, y'all. That's how he's identifying his children. Right? So I pray you somewhere keeping it when they look out into this earth at you. My fault, I was reading a little bit. I didn't teleport or nothing. I'm still here. Right? Ezekiel 20 and 11 through 12. Right? Ezekiel 20 and 11 through 12. And it says, and I gave them my statutes. What is a statute? It's one law. A statute is one law. Right? Statutes is like if you went down to the courts and they gave you a sheet of laws, numbered laws, right? The statutes are numbered. Con, I gave them my statutes and I showed them my judgments. You know what that means? When the Father shows you his judgments, Israel are the people who knew what God liked and didn't like. No other part of the world anywhere could give you that information. The guy who created this earth and everything in it, created us. What does he like? What does he not like? They had to come to the Israelites and get that. Con? He the only people they gave it to. There was no way for them to know how to please God unless they went over to Jerusalem, right? Or anywhere in the land of Israel, in Jezreel, huh? in Samaria, places like this, in Bethlehem, huh? They had to go somewhere like that and ask questions and figure out what was coming out of the Holy Land. And that's if they so wanted to please the Most High. They had to come to the Israelites, huh? To find out what his judgments was. What is your judgment? Your mind. How you see things, right? Yes, yes, yes. A lot of people will sit in my seat right here where I'm sitting and look at what I'm looking at, and we think different things, right? Almond flour. This is my bag of almond flour right here, right? What's your first thought when you look at this? That's your judgment. Some people first thought would be, hey, it's a red stamp right there. Somebody else will look and say, hey, that says almond flour right there. What is your first thought? Somebody will look here and say, hey, that says red meal, right? Those are your judgments. That's your first judgment. So we know his first judgment. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That was the first one off the top smoking, right? And it means everything. It embodies all of the rest of the law. That's how we love him, right? We don't put no other God before him. That's his first judgment, right? Which if a man do, he shall even live in them. If you do them, then you're going to live in them. You're going to find that comfort. You're going to get that reward out of it. You're going to get the punishments of it. You're going to, you got all of that coming. So you're better off just living in it, right? He ain't playing the what we call, or what, the real savages called Indian giving, right? He ain't playing that. He ain't playing that. Once you give it to him, he expect it. And once you trying to take it back, he like, what's up? Why you trying to take something back? Right? If you done start praying 3 times a day, you better not try to cut it back to 2 again. Like, hey, what's going on? Right? That's verse 11. Verse 12. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths. He gave us his Sabbath. Have you ever tried to give somebody something and they refuse it? There are some things that you cannot refuse, right? It's disrespectful to refuse some things, huh? He gave it to us and we took it. That means a lot if you are a child of Jacob, and if you so desire to follow and join in with the children of Jacob, right? And sojourn with the children of Jacob, which we have always had sojourners among us. That's why we have laws for them. For anybody who's saying we didn't, then why we got laws for them then? Right? Then you better be keeping this Sabbath, right? Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them. So bottom line, if you ain't doing this Sabbath right, God, then you ain't one of his children, because his children, they got a sign between them and him, and it's called the Sabbath, okay? That they might know that I am the Lord that sanctify them. Then you ain't sanctified by him then. Period. I don't care how you try to slice it. Oh no, but this is nah. That breaking the Sabbath junk did not come from us. Okay? That came from the Roman Catholic Church. That's who stood up and said, do anything on this day. Not us. Right? Yes, yes, yes. So, I greet you with my Sabbath peace, and I say, Shabbat Shalom. It's your brother Bronze here, right? I've been anointed and I've been appointed and I've been double dipped in that ointment, okay? Glory be unto the Most High. What you say, Mark? Yikes. What you say? Right, Khan, that do as thou will doctrine. Yikes. That do as thou wilt. It's a lot of do of thou wilters out there, you know? And that just ain't enough. That just ain't enough for me, right? No, that ain't enough for me, man. Right? I needed something more stringent. I needed something more. I needed to turn it up, you know? I needed the Most High to take over more of my life than just to be a loose worshiper. Nah, I wanted him to take over every aspect of what my life was. I needed to keep a better Sabbath than what I was seeing. Right? And that's why I get beamed into heaven. Right? You know, and shout out to you if you get mad, because I say that. Don't get mad, baby. Get like it. Don't get mad at it. Get like it. It's open to all of us. That's what I never understood, you know, about haterisms and about, you know, the book called that despisers of those that are good. Never get mad at what is good. If you get mad at something that, you know, I mean, you know, if it's good, uh, it's not bad, right? And be careful not to call something good evil, and call something that's evil good. I never understood that. You know, if it's good and you hate it, something's wrong with you. That's also called the unnatural affection from 2 Timothy 3, right? Also, that's the same person. He despised what is good, right? And all that. Same chapter, man. He has the power of God also, and he denies the power thereof. That means you're not taking advantage of what you could be doing with the power of God. We all have it. I never understood a hater. Ain't no reason to hate. That's a demonstration, right? They're giving you a demonstration. If you didn't know it before you seen it, well, you seen it. Therefore, you know it now, right? Get on it. Get on it. And I don't think the Most High got no sympathy for no person like that either. That could be applying themselves to something better, but they make the choice to sit there and would rather sit there and be pouty and be like, right? Guess what? Guess what to get rid of that? Them 9 fruits. That ain't one of them, right? To be pouty and ungrateful and bad attitude and right? You could go blank. Before you do the pout, just go blank and just kick it and just chill and just be at peace and just, okay, and just get yourself together. I'm not ready to get up and do nothing now. I'm not ready to go hard, but I'm chilling right now. But I'm not pouty and in a low mood and in the, you know what I'm saying? That's when Satan can creep in, you know, and those are his emotions and his feelings, you know, and things of this nature. So don't go that route. You know, it's okay, you know, to rest and just sit there and get your head together and just say, you know, and say, okay, I'm going to get busy in a minute, you know, and plan it out and say, okay, I'm going to chill here for this long. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then after that, make a pact. After that, I'm getting up and I'm getting to it. And you really sit there and chill for the time you said you was going to chill. And when that time is up, go at it and do what you said you was going to do. Right? Do what you said you was going to do. And that's a good way to handle it. That's a good way to be. But I never understood a hater, man. You know, when you see something that is cool, something that is good, get close to it. Right? Get closer to it. If you like something, if you think, only if you think something is cool, if you think something is cool, figure out how to be more like that thing. That's why we are here.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Right?
First off,
To be inspired. Ain't it so beautiful? And ain't it so wonderful? Right? So, what I want to do tonight is talk about faith, y'all. Why? Because we are at Hebrews 11, and that chapter just happens to be all about faith. So, if you heard me say Hebrews 11, you might be speeding over there because you know, in just a second here, I'm going to jump off the boat and I'm going to start swimming. And we will be talking about faith. Glory to the Most High. This, of course, this chapter had to be in the book of Hebrews. What is that telling us? It's telling us that we would lack faith, y'all. we would lack faith, and it would be worried about us and that. So it put the faith chapter in our book. The whole book is our book indeed, right? But the book of Hebrews is a special, set apart book. A special set apart book, right? To remind us and for us to use it as a constant reminder. Right? Constant reminder, guys. It's 13 chapters long. We almost about through it. And then we'll be going to the book of Romans, and we'll be looking at what was said to the Romans, because we have adopted a lot of Roman ways. A lot of Roman ways. And it's a lot of brothers out there, and they proclaim, and they're doing their best. I'm not cracking at them. They're doing their best to be the biggest, baddest Hebrew that you ever seen. And oh, they so militant, and that's right, that's right. And I'm looking and I'm like, I wonder if he knows that's Roman, that style he has there, that thing, that way he sees things, that way that he responds, or that way, you know what I'm saying? This thing that he's into, this pet peeve that he has, right? I wonder if he knows that that's Roman. That's not Hebrew. That's not Hebrew, brother. Right? Now, if he read the book of Hebrews and then left the book of Hebrews and then read the book of Romans, then he would understand, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing that if I want to be the biggest, baddest Hebrew that they ever seen, ain't it? Con. Shout out Ricardo Gonzalez. Shabbat Shalom, my brother Mark AZ. Shabbat Shalom, my brother Andre. Shabbat Shalom, my brother Arakar. Shabbat Shalom, my sister. Tried and true. Shabbat Shalom, I am. Ain't it? Lasagna. Shabbat Shalom, my sister. Kasad is in the building. Kasad Napash. Khan Mashalawam Ka. Shabbat. Huh? Shalawam. Shabbat Shalawam. Michelle Hobbs. Shabbat Shalawam. My blessed sister. Good to see all y'all in the building. Khan. Shabbat Shalawam D'Amico. My sister. Right. What that say? Yawakana 21. Shabbat Shalom, my family. Ain't it? Right? Skyar. Shabbat Shalom. Order of Melchizedek. Shabbat Shalom. Man, I pray y'all getting ready to keep a nice solid one. I pray you are. I pray you are. Why? Because I know my father like it. I know he like it. Right? Ooh, I know he love it. So let's jump off. Dang, it been 30 minutes already. How? We just said hi. Hebrews chapter 11. Let's go. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, that can make some things happen, right? The substance, that means it's tangible. That means it's material, right? It's substance. It's what's gathered in the thing. But it's just what's hoped for. It's actually nothing. It's everything and nothing at the same time. You can't touch it, but you can, it exists. Why? Because it exists somewhere else. It exists in the studio. It all comes out of the studio. Right? And since I have been in the earth, I have been back to that studio. Right? And it kind of dials you back in to the essence of what life is. Aman, everything comes out of that place, y'all. We came out of there. This earth came out of there. Faith, it buys anything in heaven, right? But your currency comes from what you do, fam. Your currency that affords you things in heaven and makes it materialize into this life, that's obedience, fam. Right? You're not going to be disobedient and have everything working out. If you're disobedient and things are working out, you better ask yourself how important you are to the devil. And then when you get right with the Most High, you start losing what the devil gave you, what you got from him. Right? The evidence of things not seen. How can you see it? How can you not see it if it's evidence, right? Man, that's faith, man. Nobody can tell you that this ain't on its way, right? And the Most High needs you on that, right? The Most High needs you on that. Why? Because it's going to stop you from falling off. Faith, it's what you need to hold tight, right? It's what drives your patience. Because we're all after something. I'm not after anything. I got some holes to fill in this earth. That's all I want to do, is do a lot of great things for people in need. That's what I want to do. Other than that, this other stuff can get here when it get here. But we all want to get this kingdom. I know that. I know we don't want to go to no hellfire. Between here and hellfire, it's going to take faith. It's going to take faith. It's going to take hope. It's going to take these things. If you don't have those things, ain't nothing else going to hold you down. Right? So faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Verse 2, for by it the elders obtained a good report. Khan, what elders? If we go into the Strongs, It's G4245, and it's elder, old man, eldest, right? And it has number one. The first definition is of age, the elder of two people, right? The second definition is advanced in life, an elder, a senior. That's an elder, okay? Gray hair, okay? A forefather. So forefathers, right? Three, a term of rank or office among the Jews. A of that one, it's two, actually. 2A, members of the great council of the Sanhedrin, because of early times, the rulers of the people, the judges, right, were selected from who? The elderly men of the Jews. So the Sanhedrin is the the council of the 24 elders, right, who resided over civil matters in Israel, right? And among the Christians, those who presided over the assemblies of churches in the New Testament, using the term bishop, elder, right? Uh, presbyters, it was interchangeably with all of that, right? And also, three, the 24 members of the heavenly Sanhedrin, or court seated on thrones around the thrones of God. So the Most High has a Sanhedrin up there too, right? And when you know we hear talk of that in Revelations about the 24 elders. And that's who it's talking about, the ones that are seated around the thrones of God, right? And that is Strong's number G4245 if you ever want to check that out. There's some more interesting stuff on that Strong's number that you might want to read if it be your will, right? But we're going to carry on with this book of Hebrews, chapter 11. 3, verse 3, 11 and 3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God. What does that mean? What does that mean? First of all, we're in the studio. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God. We back there where the Most High said, let there be light. And those words were Christ. Guess what else was Christ? The lights that did come on. He is the light. Right? And he came and he showed the way. He showed you where your feet were walking. Right? So that things, reading on, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. And that's why a lot of people can't believe, because they want to be able to look in this world and see the creator of it. How silly would that be? I'm not going to create something and then climb in it and live in it. No. He made this earth, and this earth is here, and he's wherever he's at, right? He don't have to live here. He don't have to be here. But anything to not have to ascribe, right, to the things that he is requiring of us, right? So that things which are seen, we do see it. It were made of things which do not appear. So what we see was made by something that ain't here. It's elsewhere. Right? Verse 4, by faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. By faith. Why? Because it wasn't there. And he put it there. That's what faith does. That's why when we're talking about the Most High sitting in the dark, alone, by himself, every time we get to faith, I say he getting ready to create. That's why I say that, right? Because that's what faith is. It's not here. You think about it. You see it in your head first, and you make it materialize. That's faith. Come on. Yes, yes, yes. We are on Hebrews 11 in verse 4. Cashapp. By which he obtained witness that he was righteous, right? He was righteous. Abel was righteous, y'all. God testifying of his gifts, and by it, he being dead, yet speaketh. He gone from us, but he's still speaking. He's still speaking. Abel ain't dead, y'all. We don't die. The good don't die. Right? And where we go is better than this place. Right? 5, by faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death. Right? He didn't die a death. He just got zapped. Right? And was not found. They couldn't find him no more because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that pleased God. Right? That's why Enoch got translated, because he had a testimony, and his testimony pleased God. What was that? What is Enoch's story? We know his story. He was a street preacher. Right? Who else we got doing that? Enoch was the first one, y'all. So Sunday hit the public. Right? Be diligent, family. Please God. Please him. How bad do you want him? How bad do you guys want our Father? I'm telling you what worked for me. I'm telling you what made things happen for me, right? Hit the corner. Just test the water. Say I'm gonna just do 5 minutes. Say I'm gonna break down. Just say I'm gonna break down one scripture, and you got 10 minutes right there, right? Just take your favorite scripture on the corner and break it down. Don't expect nothing or nothing. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna go, and just start like that. If that's what it takes to get you out there. But that's the testimony that Enoch had that pleased the Most High. He was a street preacher, right? And he was very righteous. He got beamed out of here. 6, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. You won't please God with no faith. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Key words: rewarder and diligent. Okay? You want to be rewarded, you have to be diligent. That's who the Most High is paying. They who get on it and make things happen. And it ain't even really you making anything happen. You're just putting yourself in a position for him to make things happen. You know? Because you'll see that just because you're doing something don't mean something gonna come out of it, right? And he does that to let you know that it ain't you doing this. This is me, right? This is me as your father doing this, right? Making this thing happen. Keep us humble, right? Keep us humble, y'all. Nah, this ain't you doing nothing. That's me, right? Glory be unto his holy name and he alone, right? So you doing it ain't working out. It ain't working out. Sometimes he just wants you to look to him and say, "What's up, Father? I love you." You know? Speak to him a little bit. Give him some praise. You know, glory be unto your holy name, Ahaya. Right? And he'll go, yeah, go ahead and take it. Right? Right? You know? You working, you doing this. Oh, you tried again. Don't work. Tried again. Don't work. Dang, what's going on? You know? And you'll get caught up on this plane, right? Nah. Always think Father. You know, and that's even me. You know, I do that sometimes too. I'm so fixated on making something work, and done forgot about the Father. It's like, hold on, wait a minute. Train your attention there, right? And I'll stop, take a deep breath, drop my hands. Drop my lungs, raise my hand, and just thank him. Thank you, Father. And then go back at it. It worked the first time. Boom. Right? He'll send you little messages like that. Our Father is real. That's coming from a real power, y'all. That's a real power that's going to come from. Con? Glory be unto the Most High. Okay? 7, by faith, Noah now, being warned of God of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, right? Fear of the Most High. Don't get it twisted. That's a fear of the Most High. Prepared an ark to the saving of his house. Saved his whole house, right? Yep. 8 people, I believe. Him, his 3 sons, and all of their wives, right? By the which he condemned the world, right? By which the Father condemned the world, not Noah, and became heir of the righteousness, which is by faith. That's what Noah got. Who's next? 8. By faith, Abraham, right? When he was called to go out into the place which he should after receive for an inheritance, what did he do? He obeyed. And how did he obey? He went out not knowing whether he went. He left not knowing where he was going, right? 9, by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. Right? So him, his son, and his grandson, they took off walking, not knowing where they was going, and they found a place. And to this day, that place belongs to Abraham and his children, right? Down to Isaac, down to Jacob. Between the Nile River and the Euphrates River, all of that area there, it belongs to Jacob, right? To Abraham. Through Isaac, through Jacob. So, right? 10. For he looked for a city which had foundation, whose builder and maker is God. It's what the Most High does. He had a lot of things. He had a lot of places built, and he would tell us to go get it. He would have it set aside. He did the Northern Kingdom like that too with these Americas. North, Central, and South America. You know, uh, he be having places for us, Shaw. He did Abraham that same way. Just get up and go. He won't tell you where you're going. He won't tell you what he got planned for you. He won't tell you what he got planned for you. He'll just tell you what to do. Get up and go. Make a left. Where am I doing? What am I going? Right? And that's what most of our response is. Here we go again, right? And he doesn't like that. He don't like that. That's a nasty spirit. What is that not? I'll tell you what that's not. That's not the 9, right? Long suffering and all of that, right? You got to get up and you got to hit it. Never question the Most High. He ain't going to tell you, I got a paradise over there. He just going to say, hey, you want? Yes, Father? Get up, walk. Okay. Go this way, go that way. Go this way. Cut through there. Dang, you want me to cut through there, Father? Right? Dang, I don't want to hop this large gate. Dang, I gotta hop that gate. Man, right? You know, and you know what he gonna do when you acting like that? He gonna make it harder. Now go down through here, go through the canyon. Dang, go through the canyon, and guess what? You gonna cut your ankle in the canyon, right? You gonna sprain your ankle. Now you're limping. Right? Shouldn't have had that attitude. You know, that's easily entreated when he wants you to be like, say less, Father. Hit it. You know, but in order to get the diligence going on, you have to go through a lot of the hardship first. And that's what makes it easy. And that's what makes you flip it behind your hand. You know, shout out to the people who were just born diligent and well mannered and tempered and all of that. You know, those are the ones who are really special to the Father, right from the gate. They got a spirit on them that's just so full of God that nothing bothers them, and they didn't even have to learn that. See, I had to learn it. I had to learn it. You know, to a sense, though, I was kind of, I was a baby that never cried, kind of thing, but never spoke either. You know, they thought I was going to be a mute. I didn't start speaking words till I was getting ready to turn like 5. You know, I was in my 4th year, and they didn't really know what my voice sounded like. But yeah, I was a weird child. But I could remember I had my times though where I wasn't so good, where I wasn't so laid back, where I was funky, you know, and pouty and had something to trip off of, but that was later, you know. I guess the world teaches you that, but that's what he's looking for. He's looking for us to even get to that level to where things don't bother us and we easily entreat it, do the biggest job and require the less maintenance. Con, you know, 11. Who's next? Oh, hold up. Yeah, let's get 10. 10, for he looked for a city which had foundation, whose builder and maker is God. Right? That's what he does. He'll put you on a mission. But it's a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, ain't it? Now, if we understood that, we would have a better attitude about the tasks that approach us in life, right? Know that the Father is going to take care of you. Know that the Father got a paycheck for you. Know that the Father got a pot of gold for you at the end of every rainbow, right? Know that, y'all. I'll be seeing us flip out and freak out, and it's like, man, the reason why you're doing that is right around the corner if you just be patient, right? It's always something in it. He puts a pot of gold at the end of every rainbow. Verse 11, through faith also, Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed and was delivered of a child when she was past age, right? Because she judged him faithful who had promised. Am I? 12. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, right? Yikes. So many as the stars of the sky in multitude, right? Who is that? Us, children of Israel, right? And as the sand which is by the seashore, innumerable, right? 13, these all died in faith, not having received the promises. It's talking about the people who walked around that desert for 40 years and died off under Moses, right? But having seen them afar off and were persuaded of them and embraced them and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. It's talking about them. 14, for they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. They was looking for a home, right? They kind of repeated Abraham's steps, walking around aimlessly, looking for this new home, right? 15. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned, right? It's talking about them and how they saw Egypt. It's saying they didn't have to do all of that roaming around that they did. They did that because of, how funky they was, you know. 16. By now, they desire a, oh, hold on, not by, Salakia. But now they desire a better country, right? They didn't want to go back to Egypt, even though some of them voiced that and they got slaughtered, right? But now they desire a better country, that is, and heavenly. That's us, y'all. We shouldn't be looking for nothing on land. We shouldn't be looking to go back into Israel. Nah, don't chase that one. As of now, we need to be chasing the heavenly one, right? We spoke of that before, how we always are looking to go back into our rest, right? We're in another exile now, as we have been in many exiles. And that the whole time we're in that exile, we yearn for home. And when we get home, what do you do when you get home? You rest. You rest, fam. But now, uh, but now we're looking to go to another home and have another rest, right? The wilderness are going to be cool for us who make it there, but everybody's not going to make it there. Everybody's not going to see the wilderness, right? But that's going to be pleasant to the soul if you make it to the wilderness. But on a grander scheme, yeah, we're looking to get to that other rest, to that 1,000-year rest, right? Out of this exile that has been this life and me and your generation. Aman, wherefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared for them a city. I go to make a place for you, right? That's what that one's talking about. 17, by faith, what else Abraham do? Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac. And he that had received the promise offered up his only begotten son. Y'all remember that? 18. Of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. 19. Accounting that God was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. Though he's my son here now, if I put him down, I will put him down for the one who I know has the power to raise him back up. And that's why Abraham had Isaac on that bed of stick, finna plunge something through his heart, right? And he had it in the air, and the Most High said, never mind, don't do it. And he hear the sheep, bah! He turned around, okay, right? And that sheep took Isaac's place. Glory to the Most High. But uh, did the Most High need to do that to Abraham in order to know if Abraham would do it? No. He had to do that to prove that to Abraham, right? Now, Abraham can feel good and accomplished and about the Most High's business and all of that. He did that for Abraham, you know? Oh, thank you for having me not have to kill my son. But he had the stake in the air, ain't it? By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. Remember that? Remember when he passed them two out, their blessings? I remember wondering about that. Did you ever wonder about that? You know, when he told when he gave Jacob all of Esau's blessings, right? And then Esau came late and weeping and mad, and you know what I'm saying? And what did he give him? You will be a man of the field and a cunning hunter and all of this and that. And you will be a man of war, right? And I remember reading that and saying, how you know, Isaac? You know, how powerful is your word that you're able to speak that and they really grow into that, right? I did wonder about that. This is telling us how. I was thinking, does he have some type of authority like God or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? What is that about? You know, oh, I was so curious. Well, this is telling us how he did it right here. It wasn't nothing but faith, baby. It was only by faith that he was able to do that, right? By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning the things to come. 11, or Salakia, uh, 21. By faith, Jacob, when he was dying, right, blessed both the sons of Joseph and worshipped, leaning upon the top of his staff. 22. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention, it's just going on down the line, made mention of the departing of the children of Israel and gave commandment concerning his bones. Right? Took the bones of Joseph and buried him. He said, please don't leave me in Egypt, right? Take me out of here. I do not want to be buried in this place. I am an Israelite, okay? Yes, yes, yes. 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. The king said, give me every male child, right? And they were bold against the king, his parents, because they said, nah, you ain't getting mine. No, my child is too proper for that, right? And they held Moses back. And eventually they put him on that water and let him float. And then he floated right into the house of the king that gave that order to kill all the male child, right? And he still didn't die. He became the king's son. So see, you don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to take care of yourself. God will take care of you. So never be afraid. Never be afraid, fam. The Most High got you. And fear comes from not doing the right thing. It's a byproduct of doing the wrong thing. If you're doing the wrong thing, you're going to feel that you're in danger. You're going to fear. You're going to feel if something is about to get you, guess who's going to let that happen? The Most High is going to let that thing happen to you, baby. So if you want to get rid of fear, get rid of disobedience to God. And oh, you're big and bad and bold, and nothing can stop you, right? And you know it. What is that? Faith. Faith. Oh, I know I don't die. I know I don't die in this thing. Watch this. And you doing all kind of crazy stuff, and people are just like, right? You David with that slingshot in the Philistine, right? Right? Put him on his back. Put a giant on his back with a slingshot. Pa! Shut up. Sit down. Right? 24. By faith, what else did Moses do? By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of the Pharaoh's daughter. Right? Remember that? He struck out on them. Let go of my coat. I'm a Hebrew. Right? And then he bounced. Right? 25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. 26. Esteeming the reproach of Christ, right? Greater riches than the treasure of Egypt, right? Right? So that was the next thing coming. These are our main prophets. That's talking about the two testaments. We know Moses brought us the old, Christ brought us the new, right? Christ, greater riches than the treasures of Egypt. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. Glory be to the Most High. And we're all partaking in that reward to this day. Right? The sacrifice of Christ. 27. By faith, he forsook Egypt. Who? Moses. Not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Right? It's the Most High. And the Most High is invisible. So he did all of these things in this earth that you can see for something that he could not physically see. That's faith. Right? 28. Through faith, he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch him. He was a firstborn. It would have killed him if he didn't take care of business with that blood on the doorpost, right? 29, by faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians, essaying to do, were drowned. So, did y'all know that? Did y'all know it was faith that kept that water up, that split that sea? So see, faith is our part. The work is the Father's part. Faith is our part. And y'all remember when they first got out there, that sea wasn't parting. It was because of their faith. It was because of y'all faith that sea wasn't parting over there, right? It's because of faith that sea wasn't parting. 30. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down. Did we know that? I didn't know that. I thought that was all the Most High. Why the walls of Jericho fell. I didn't know that. Y'all see what you could do with faith? Y'all see what y'all could make happen with your faith? I didn't know that. I thought they marched 7 times around Jericho for 7 days. I thought it was all into that stuff that made them walls fall. Nah. It was the instruction that when you guys march around here 7 times for 7 days, them walls is going to fall. And they heard that and they believed that. And it was by that faith. Okay. Right? After they were compassed about 7 days. 31. By faith, the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies with peace. Right? Harlots can have it. Right? Harlots need faith too. Apparently. Right? She wasn't a harlot after that. She had meaning. Right? 32. And what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell you of Gideon and of Barak and of Samson and of Jephthah, of David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets. He like, man, I don't feel like going into all of their stories. Right? But I'll just mention their names and I'll do a quick go through of what faith got them, right? So it's going to go into that next, what faith got those. What faith got who? What faith got Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, David, Samuel, and the prophets, right? What did they get? Who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions. 34, quenched the violence of fire, right? Escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant and fight, turned to flight the armies of the aliens, right? All of this happened by faith. That's deep because you can quench the violence of fire, right? That was done by faith, right? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire chamber and didn't get burned, and the shadow of Christ was in there with them when they looked up in there. Y'all remember that? I didn't know they did that by faith. It was by faith they did that? I thought Christ made that happen for them, which he did, but I didn't know that they was able to make that happen by faith alone. Right? Who stopped the mouths of lions? Think that was Brother Daniel, ain't it? Prophet Daniel. 35. Women received their dead raised to life again. Who was that? Lazarus' sister, ain't it? And others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection. So that's also wrapped up in this too. If you refuse the faith, you're going to be tortured, possibly. Why? Because you won't accept your deliverance. All deliverance takes is a little faith sometimes. But no, you're going to be tortured because you won't accept deliverance that you might obtain a better resurrection. Right? So if you lose on all that, you lose on the resurrection too. The invisible don't want nothing to do with you. You're dying death number 2. You're dying the second death, right? 36. And others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, right? A scourge is a weapon of punishment, right? Yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment, right? They went through all of that in faith, flipped it behind their backs like champs, right? Like it wasn't nothing. That's faith too. It's faith that allows you to go through the things that you go through and be all right and make it through it and all of that, right? Believe for all things, hope for all things, endure for all things. What chapter is that, y'all? Praise the Most High. Yep. 37. They were stoned. They were sawn asunder. Who got sawed asunder? Isaiah got sawed in half, right? Were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented. A lot came in the name of faith, right? Are you dealing with that, fam? It's telling us we don't got no reason to not be having faith, right? We're not going through these things. It should be easy to have faith in the little things that we dealing with every day, ain't it? Con. 38, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth. Remember we was hanging out in the caves? We had to go keep the Sabbath in caves. Huh? All that. All that, fam. All right, Cashapp, Shalom. We chop it up. We chop it up tomorrow, my brother. Have a blessed one. Have a blessed night of sleep. Right? I ain't going to be going too much longer either. Bringing this in with this. We are almost over. 39. And these all have obtained a good report through faith. Receive not the promise. Right? And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, receive not the promise. It's talking about them and everything they went through in the wilderness, walking around in circles for 40 years under Moses. They were just being waited to die off, fam, and their children went into the new land of Canaan, which became Israel, right? They received not the promise. Not that promise. Another one, yeah, they received that one, right? 40. Hey, what do you see? What do you see? Hey! What's up with all of these dogs losing it like that? Verse 40, God having provided some better thing for us, that they, without us, should not be made perfect, right? So what does that mean? God having provided some better thing, so better did come along, right? That they without us, so without these people, should not be made perfect. So it's saying that everything they went through was not in vain. They paved the way for us to get to something better, right? And to be made perfect. So shout out to everybody who's saying we ain't never gonna be perfect. This call you a liar. And what's making us perfect? 1 Corinthians chapter 13, y'all. That's the last straw. That's what this is talking about. That just ended the faith chapter. Hebrews 11. We do become perfect. When? With 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Right? So, shout out to everybody out there that don't believe what's going on here is prophetic, y'all. We're bringing forth the Holy Spirit, mama. We're solidifying her. Okay? Straight out of the sapphire. Okay? Straight out of the sapphire, we're bringing you the perfection chapter, right? That immediately in latching on to it, we become perfect. Straight out of the sapphire. We have us one. Never mind that it's me. Who cares that it's me? Who cares who it is? We have one that was pulled out of here and pulled into that realm, right? And now we're back talking this and sealing up things that would have been open forever. It would have been open forever, y'all. So shout out to you guys who are here. You know, I'm humble. I love you guys. It's all about you. It's not about me. I could have stayed gone, right? I didn't have to come back here. Nah, everything that's going on is because of you. It's all because of y'all, man. You know, I don't know how somebody stands up big and bad. I'm this, I got that. I'm this and that. I'm special because it, but who are you special for? You ain't special for yourself, right? You're special because you're standing up for some special people to guide them or to do something for them. You're a servant. You have a job, right? So, no, you should turn around to approach the people that you are to help and look up at them, not down, right? Because if it wasn't for you having them to serve, you wouldn't have even been chosen. They got you chose. How are you acting funny with the people that got you chose? Never understood it. And you can shut down any business. All you got to do is stop shopping there. They done. People who don't treat their customers right, stop shopping there. Right? They take the picket signs and they boycott out front and walk around in circles, a crowd of them. Right? Boycott this place. The people have the power. Power to the people. You know? You could shut down any elder. They ain't treating you right. Shut them down. Stop them tithes. Don't go to church. Leave them sitting there by themselves or else. Because they be sitting there with their big old back and no, it's going to go this way. And they don't care about the people. And they'll put the people last behind some garbage. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. Don't you know that it's a blessing to have the people interested in you that you have? It don't gotta be like that. So if you want to abuse your little authority, right? You get humbled, you get showed a lesson. That's why we should be humble. Be humble or be humbled, right? What is that showing? Lack of faith. If the Most High was always on your mind, you couldn't do nothing like that. You couldn't behave like that, fam. Everything is a faith issue. You don't believe God's up there. We say this all the time. If God was sitting in front of you with his big red eyes, you wouldn't do 90% of the junk you're doing, and that's a disobedient person. Bottom line. Bottom line, fam. But all praises to the Most High and Shabbat Shalom, everybody out there. I ain't gonna keep you too late, and I ain't gonna keep you too long. I was already a little late getting in here. Right? Go back through here and read y'all. Mark says all praises to a higher to give you favor to bring us these messages to learn and share. That's all it's about. It's just, faith come by hearing. That's all it takes is a little conversation, y'all. And we're going to spread these 9 fruits We're going to change this world, y'all. And we're going to seal it up. We are the ones who are going to seal the earth. Right? 2nd Esdras 6:28. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which has been long without fruit, shall be declared, y'all. Which faith? Which, right? The faith that has been long without fruit. Oh, we was in a drought, right? It took us a long time, y'all. We sat in this so long. So long, y'all. Nothing new coming. And we just sitting there like, what's up, Father? What's next? You know? So long without fruit. And then boom, it shall be declared. That's what we're doing now. We're declaring. We're declaring, Mama. We're declaring the Holy Spirit. We're declaring the realm of heaven. We're going up, right? That's all everybody talks about out there is the bosom of Abraham and the 7-day journey. Us in Christ ain't doing none of that. Ask me how I know. Galatians 5:5. For we, through the Spirit, wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. It's here. We have a shadow of things to come. Right? We have a shadow of things to come, y'all. Right? We got something to look forward to. It's going down, y'all. It's very prophetic over here. We got things over here, right? That we got to go back into the book to find, right? 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. That's how you know you in line. If his commandments are grievous, you're not ready. You should love his commandments. What is his commandments? That's the love for your brothers and your sisters, to not do no harm unto them, right? Keeps them safe. We say it every time we come before this camera. You shouldn't want to trespass on your brothers or sisters. You should not want to hinder them to serve their own God, right? You should not want to be a bad example of that before them. And you should not want to do no ill to your neighbor of any type, right? So if you have a problem with that, what you're saying is, I want to be able to do harm to you know what I'm saying? Nah, you're sick. There's something wrong with you. You know, you got more purging. You got more purging to do, right? And he said it's not grievous. It's not grievous, fam. You shouldn't want to break a law and harm yourself, right? The big dog, shout out to the big dog, Shalom fam. I never get notifications. Almost missed you again. They ain't on our team over here, y'all. Oh, they gonna make it extra hard for us. And it's way more than 21 people in here, too. Right? They put that here for the shallow minds that'll look up there and see 21 people and say, I ain't nobody watching this. I'm out of here. Right? And and now as soon as I hit this button right here, it's gonna say 300 people. Right? I could show you that. I could show you what it says. when I get off, right, it'd be about 300 people in here. Glory to the Most High. We ain't looking at that anyway. We don't care about that. We care about this word going out. Con, at whatever rate it goes out. I don't care if it was one person. I'm still going to come and I'm going to talk this talk because I got to put this in the air. Right? Romans 5:19. For as by one's disobedience, many were made sinners. Oh, that's why we don't sin. That's what he's worried about with us sinning. It ain't just you, one person, right? It's with a whole bunch of people, right? Yes, yes, yes. Mm, mm, mm. So by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous, and that's what's going on here. And we don't understand that, that's the power that we have. One person slips off, people are going to latch on to whatever they see. It don't matter how good it is, how bad it is. Wouldn't you want to be responsible for people doing good, right? And I've always understood that. And even though I've always been, the type of person to be the only person or to be the first person doing something, right? That was the reason for that. That was, I was telling y'all the other day about the reason why I jumped off the boat and started swimming with the love, right? And it was because of that reason, because I knew, you know, by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous. And that's what's going on here. So that's why we're not supposed to look at the crowd and say, well, they're wicked, so I'm going to be wicked. No. Or I don't want to push this righteousness because they're also on this wickedness that they just going to, smother me with my little, no. Smother me with my little righteousness, right? Nah, we'll get smothered with it then. And then see, he gonna, right? They're gonna go flying everywhere, right? Kneel down and collect the power of the Lord and God, right? Like some type of Pokemon or something, ain't it? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. Ain't it? But man, I pray y'all enjoy your Sabbath and really get your rest in, ain't it? Right? Yaeli, Sherelle, Shabbat Shalom, family. Francis Johnson is in the building. Ma'akaraka Akkad is in the house. Shalom, my brother. War and peace is indeed in the building. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, excuse me. It is a special Shalom today. Robert Tucker, Shalom. Akia, Shabbat Shalom. Right? Glory be unto the Most High. Order of Melchizedek. Man, I pray y'all keep a nice, solid Sabbath of the Most High this week. And that's if you are his children. And that is the sign. If that is the sign between ye and he, ain't it? Man, glory be unto the Most High. All right. Let's look at our chapter a little bit on our way on up out of up out of yonder. Look at the golden chapter a little bit if y'all want to meet us at 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We just going to go out with the magic chapter that's going to seal the earth. Mama and her 9 fruits, the roadmap of how to have the fruit of the Spirit, those 9 fruits, right? From Galatians 5, verses 22 through 23, right? Though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. 2, and though I give, and Salakia, I'm jumping the gun here. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. 3, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. 4, charity suffers long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. 5, does not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. 6, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. 7, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. 8, charity never fails, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For 9, for we know in part, and we prophesy in part. 10, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. 11, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. 12, for now we see through a glass, darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. 13, and now abideth faith, hope, charity, these 3, but the greatest of these is charity. Shabbat Shalom, I love you, right? We speak soon. Shabbat Shalom.